Hi guys, it's Dan from Make Some Noise, back again for our weekly music making sessions. I hope you've had a lovely week and I hope you've had a little bit of sunshine, even if it's in the garden or out for a little walk or something like that. Always does you good to get a bit of sunshine when you can safely. So this week we're going to be having a look at creating melodies. Now last week we had a look at building and playing chords, so there's going to be some things that we're going to need from last week in this week's video. So if you haven't yet watched last week's video, I'd recommend you give that a little watch and get up to speed. Hopefully you're at a point where you can play your very own chord progression or the chord progression that we wrote last week. So first things first, melodies. What's a melody? Well, a melody is the part of the song that you hum or sing along to when you think of it. So very simply, in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You know, it's the bit that you sing, it's the bit that you enjoy the most normally, and it's the bit that you think about when you first think of the song. So in your song, you're going to need a few tips to get a nice strong melody across. Now, before we start looking into the melody, I'm going to quickly recap what we did last week, which was our chord progression. So, our chord progression, if you can remember, had 4 chords in it. It had chord 4, which was F, also written like this. It had chord 1, which was C, also written like this. Chord 6, which was A minor. That's how I write a minor chord, by the way. I just pop an M on the end of it. And that's also written like this. And it had chord 5, which was G, which is G major. All these ones without M's on are major chords, and the ones with an M are minor chords. So if we just quickly play that chord progression, it sounds a little bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you've got to that point, you've done very well. And if you haven't got to that point, don't worry, we're going to make it a little bit easier. We're actually going to get rid of the minor chord here. And we're going to make it just F, C and G. So you can just play F, C, and then maybe play G, but just hold it for a little bit longer. So counting it might be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you notice that last G chord I held for 2 counts of 4. 8 beats in total. So now we've got our chord progression sorted. Ooh, one more thing. A little bit of advanced chord stuff for those of you who got it easily last week. I'm going to make one more change to our chord progression. Normally an F has F, A, C. A C has C, E, G. And a G has G, B, D, how we learnt last week. All I'm going to do is I'm going to muddle up the C, E, G. So instead of C, E, G, I'm going to take this G and bring it back all the way to here. So now I play it a little bit differently. The G's at the bottom. It's still a C major chord, but what we've done there is we've actually inverted the chord. Don't worry, you don't need to remember that one, but it's a useful thing to know. So instead of playing C, E, G, we're going to play G, C, E. And that's going to make our chords even easier to move around. So we can go F, C, inverted, and then G. So if I had to move my fingers a lot less, it's all closer together and it just sounds a little bit more stable for when we come to add that melody. So let's get to work on our melody. There's no right or wrong with melody, but there are a few tips and a few pointers that we can think about when we're making melodies to make sure they're as good as they can be. So first things first, I'm going to start with a note from the first chord. The first chord, if you can't remember already, is F major, F, A, C. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick an A. I'm not going to pick the A that's already in the chord, I'm going to pick one a bit higher up. So our melody sounds like this. So it's already sounding quite nice, and that's only one note. What? Okay, so we can make it a bit more interesting. We can either step or we can leap away from that note. Stepping is quite literally stepping. Imagine you've got 2 little feet on the end of your fingers, and instead of just playing the A, you can step. In this song, all of these white keys are going to sound great, so you can step wherever you like. The next thing you can do is leap. So instead of stepping all the way to E, I'm just going to leap to it. Wow, that sounds lovely. It gives it a nice majestic kind of feeling. So I'm going to play that again with a leap from the A to the E. So I'm going to play. Lovely. Lovely. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. I added a little bit in at the end. That was still the A and the E. The rhythm was just a little bit different. And that kind of moves me nicely into my next point. I mean, we've already been repeating ourselves. The melody is going over and over again. But we can vary it a little bit. So instead this time, why don't we play A, E, E? Well, let's add a bit more. Dum, 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 dum. How about like a A, E, E, C, D? And then just do it again. A, E, E, C, D. And then A, E, E, C, D. A, E, E, C, D. Oh, that sounds like a lovely song already. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to do A, E, E, C, D. And then I'm going to go A, E, E, C, B. So I'm going to go down, C, B. So if I've got F, A, C, I'll do my normal one. Go down. Lovely. So I'm repeating myself. I've gone back to that first idea. I buried it in the middle. And now I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to use something from the rules anyway. Not the rules, the tips. There are no rules. Remember, melody is subjective. So you might make a melody that you don't like and someone else might really like it. That's all subjective means. And you might make something you really like and someone else might not like it. That is the bane of being a musician. Welcome to the club. It's a long road from here. So, oh, yeah, that was a bit of fun. All I did was a little bit of stepping. Didn't land on the last chord properly, so I'm going to have to practice it a little bit. But all I did was something like that. I'm just going up and down. Or I could just go up. And it's all going to sound nice as long as I hit those white keys. So we could go. Well, that concludes our second session, creating melodies. If you followed the first session and the second session, and you're able to play some chords, some notes in your left hand, and maybe have a go at making a melody with your right hand, you have done amazingly well, and you should give yourself a massive pat on the back. If you need any more help or any more support, or if you're really proud of what you've done and you want to share it with me, please email it over to me because I'd love to hear from you. If you need any support, technical, musical, whatever, let me know. Please do drop me an email. Next week, we're going to be working on something a little bit different that's really going to get us on the way to making our own song. So we'll be making our song together, and at home I hope you're having a go, possibly at making your own song as well. So take care, keep safe, enjoy the sunshine if and when you can, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.